What's up, everyone? It's a brand new week of 5 minute majors. And boy, did we have a blockbuster trade go down after last week's episode. So, right as I ended and right as I finished my story, the Portland Winterhawks and Brandon Wheat Kings agreed on a huge deal. Portland has acquired and he's ready to play tonight, Wednesday, against the Kelowna Rockets. Nate Danielson, he is a Detroit draft pick, first round, ninth overall in the 2023 draft. So a huge get for them, a huge get as Portland looks to contend for a championship this season, along with all the other moves that have been made. Clearly, Wenatchee had a bit of a decision-making process to go through, so they had to trade some of their better players, but they still have a few pieces. So Wenatchee should still be a first, second roundish team, I think. But back to the main trade that went down, Portland and Brandon. So Portland received just the one player, Nate Danielson. Brandon received Nick Johnson and Rhett Ravendal, along with multiple picks, three different draft picks. So this is a huge, huge deal. Three picks, two players going over to Brandon. And so Portland clearly has seen the other teams loading up. The Blades are first atop this week's CHL top 10. The Prince George Cougars are third. Prince George is looking to contend as well. And then you have people like Swift Current who added a couple pieces here and there. You have the Moose Jaw Warriors who obviously added a piece in Savoy. So with Geeky going to the Broncos, the Eastern Conference is going to be very interesting. I still predict the Blades will come out first over there. But the West, I think the Western Finals, maybe we have a chance to see in the Cougars and Winterhawks. There are other teams too. Everett is right in the mix sort of at times. They have quite a few key pieces, a couple NHL picks. And so that'll be an interesting division. The U.S. division continues to be very interesting. I think Wenatchee could maybe make it interesting. We'll see how that shakes out there. But Wenatchee has their situation, and like I said, they're still good. I think they could maybe shock a few people. We'll see what happens there. Then we have Everett and the Winterhawks. Those two, and who knows if maybe Spokane makes a showing here. We'll see. But I think the BC division can make it interesting. Kamloops, are they rebuilding? Are they not? Are they trying to maybe have a situation like Wenatchee where they just have a second round team? Who knows? They've been a little topsy turvy, confusing a little bit. But it looks like it's going to be Prince George and the Winterhawks contending for the Western Conference crown, while the Saskatoon Blades, they'll probably play maybe Moose Jaw in the East. The East is a sort of different animal. You don't know who's really going to come out of there besides the Blades. The Eastern Final could be really anything with the Blades. It could be against Moose Jaw, Swift Current. Who knows? The West is definitely more predictable, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Everett also has had the Rookie of the Week 2 weeks straight, so the talent is there. Everett always drafts well. They have good players. They put together a good talent, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. That's four WHL teams in this week's CHL top 10. Everett at 10, the Winterhawks at 9, Prince George at 3, and the Blades at 1. So it's clear that if I had to say, I feel like this week, the WHL, and this year, the WHL is just loading up, stacked insanely full of talent. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what comes out of this. So definitely keep your eyes on that league and the other two as well, the OHL and the QMJHL. Those always have teams kind of up in the top 10. Drummondville's in the top 10 as well. They've been up there for the past few weeks, I think possibly all season. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Memorial Cup shapes out, honestly. If I had to predict, and I would say the WHL champion could be Portland. Prince George is going to be a battle with them, I think. I could see if Portland faces Prince George, I could see that going 7. If Saskatoon gets into the final, I think that goes 6 maybe. With the West, I think the Western Conference in WHL comes out on top this year. Just from the games that I've watched, I saw the Winterhouse play the Blades this year. So it's not that the Blades aren't good; they're obviously really good. But I think the West has more talent and is stronger this season. So it'll be interesting to see what shapes out. In the past, the Eastern Conference of the WHL has had I would say, stronger teams. And there's always that one team based in Alberta that can make a showing. And I think we all know who I'm talking about. They share a building with the Oilers. Yes, the Edmonton Oil Kings. They've always had, at least the recent years and past decade, honestly. Yeah, the past decade, for the most part, with exception maybe a couple of years here and there, they have always had a decent team that makes some sort of run in the postseason. So I think the Oil Kings are definitely a sleeper team to keep your eye on out in the Eastern Conference. I would not sleep on them at all. They're pretty darn good. I know they beat the Winterhawks this season. They went on a Eastern swing this season and they struggled a bit. But I think this trade and kind of getting their confidence back in them after that Eastern swing helped them. So I think Portland and Prince George out of the West for the Western Final. Wouldn't be surprised if the Oil Kings match up with the Blades for the Eastern Final. I think that would be a very possible Final Four. We shall see what happens, and we'll keep you updated on all the other happenings around the leagues over the next week or so, and we'll catch you then.